Good day, everybody. This is JD again. Now, yesterday I did a video on how important you are to our country. How important that each and every one of you need to get out there and become involved. I'm talking about the people who don't vote, the independents, and the people who are die-hard political party people. Each of you are individuals, not a group. And your individuality is what makes our country great. But also, what is the purpose of our government? The United States government is there to help you, not for you to serve the government. Business is our country's business. Business is what the United States of America is all about. Business, for you to be able to go out and make your living, your livelihood, your expectations, to improve the lives so that your children have better than you. All that is what the United States of America is all about. When our government hinders you to the point where you cannot do that, then our government is unconstitutional. You is what it's all about. That's why I say each and every one of you, I don't care what group you belong to, is an individual. And my job is to ensure that each and every one of you have the maximum opportunity. Now, with the requirements of education, I'll be honest with you. I see no reason why the United States government, under the Department of Education, cannot go all the way up to the 14th grade instead of 12th. You graduate from high school and you pick a career and you do what you would call 2 years of trade school or 2 years of college towards that career, depending on the career you pick. The purpose of our education system is not to brainwash anybody, but to allow them to assimilate into our society and to become a productive, proficient individual. Not someone who could barely multiply, divide, and only can write their name in cursive because they will memorize how to write their name. We need our young people to be better educated from kindergarten all the way up. We also need to understand that the current 12-year system does not provide the foundation for the individual to become an extremely productive individual within our society. Brainwashing? No. Education should be the experience of knowledge of the truth, whatever the truth may be, but strictly the truth. And upon completion of the education program, an individual should have the ability and the skills to assimilate into the society of this nation, to become productive, to enhance the business, to produce more entrepreneurs, and advance small business growth. Big business is not the United States, just like big government is not the United States of America. Small business, small federal government. There's only a few cabinet positions I could see. Homeland Security, which would be underneath the Commandant of the Coast Guard. Defense, which must be separated completely from Homeland Security. Education. See, part of the federal government is to provide for the common defense and common education of its citizens, so that they can, within our society, promote the business. I don't feel a single person should have to pay a red cent for anything to the first 2 years of college in a community college. If someone wants to go to a 4-year private college, they have that option. Just like people who have the option to go to private high schools or private grade schools. We don't have the right to infringe on their right to choose private. But at the same time, we should ensure that our students graduating from our school systems have the skills and abilities needed to perform and assimilate into a society where they become productive and they produce the business of our nation. Now, I'm also a strong believer in charity at home. And I don't feel the federal government has a right to give your money away around the world. I'm sorry, I just don't feel that. That's why we have charitable organizations. I feel that you, the people, if you wish to, then the federal government can assist you. Or if you demand as a people, it would have to be a national referendum. And that's the only way it could be done. Because you, the people, will have to express it. There's some things the federal government can only do if you, the people, authorize it. Which means we might have to have more national referendums. Once a year is enough. We just put, okay, do you want to give charity to this nation or that nation? Do you want to support the UN, yes or no? That should be your choice as the American people. For this is your nation, not Congress's. And our federal government needs to understand that. We, the people, ask not of our government, but ask what we can do for the government. But understand, we, the people, are not the servants of the government, but the government is to serve us, the people. People talk about eliminating Department of Education. I'm sorry. Department of Education, Department of Defense, Homeland Security, and Secretary of State, and Department of Treasury. That's about it for your cabinets. Homeland Security to take care of Interior. Or we could have a Department of Interior. But that's it. National parks, the recommendations by the federal government. EPA needs to be recommendations to the states, not laws. And the federal government is to assist the states in enforcing the EPAs that they wish to enforce. For example, Alaska needs very little assistance to enforce their EPA standards. They do a pretty good job. Where some of these other states, especially smaller ones where they're almost cemented the whole state in, they might need a lot of help. The wishes of the people, though, within the states must be honored. And if everybody in the state wants to live where everything is cemented over and astroturf and houses from one state line to the next, that's their choice. Federal government does not have the right to tell them no. Whereas a state that wishes to live in nothing but woods, fields, and things, and everybody have to build their houses underground because they don't want them to show. That's their choice. Federal government doesn't have a right to go in there and say no. Just like gay marriages is a religious ceremony. Marriage is a religious ceremony. If two people of the same sex can find a religious organization to marry them, the federal government does not have the right to say no. We can't say yes, we can't say no. We have to say this is the freedom of religion, and as such, we have to respect that. We can neither affirm nor deny, restrict or promote any religious organization within this country. And like the 10th Amendment says, those authorities not given to the federal government are reserved for the states, local communities, and the people. Yes, reserved for the states, local communities, and the people. So, what is the job then of the federal government? To help and promote your business, your personal business, whatever it may be. Because your business is the American country, the United States of America. Your livelihood, your individualism, and the ability for you to be able to work and promote a better future for your children. Now, some of you argue about the Department of Education. I'm sorry. Education is a very important part of your child's future. All our children's future. A very important part. So, like I said, common defense, Homeland Security, and those both of them deal with the secure of your home, the security of your life. Department of Education, because your children's education is the future of this nation, and not government indoctrination, but to be proud of who we are. Secretary of State, I have seen that through all, and the Department of Interior. Of course, Treasury was established from the very beginning, and that's it. That's the only cabinet positions. And Homeland Security will always be, and should always be, the Commandant of the Coast Guard. Approved by Congress, selected by the Senate. And this way the President has someone, when there's a national emergency, where something goes wrong, he can turn to someone that he knows where the buck stops and what responsibility means. And he knows the job is already being taken care of. He just needs to know how it's being taken care of. So he can tell you, the people, we are there, we are doing the job, and things like these tornadoes and these hurricanes and these earthquakes will not be unhandled. Because promoting you, the American individual, and your lively business is what the American government is all about. If you don't agree with me on that, then I'm sorry. But that is the facts. Not false promises, not a bunch of change, not a bunch of this, not a bunch of that. No rhetoric at all. Plain and simple. This is what we, the American people, are about. You disagree with me? I'll be willing to talk. You agree? I need each and every one of you. Every one of you. And your help. And I'm looking for, I don't know if Dietrich's still my vice president, so I might be looking for a very strong vice president who has the same beliefs and wants to be president. Because the job of a leader is to train his replacement. Thank you. Have a nice day. This is JD. Thank you for your time, and may God bless each and every one of you as He has blessed me. Thank you.